Hey, good day, it's Alan Terry Mindset. Hope we are all good. I am live. Hopefully, you can hear me loud and clear. Today, I am going to talk about BS. Now, what does BS stand for? Belief system. Right, okay. So I'm just going to take you on a bit of my journey on my BS story and how I've overcome that and why I'm speaking today and how hopefully it may just help one person out there. So part of my BS story was the first thing about exercise. I've always been into exercise. I've always lifted heavy weights. I literally was an avid fan and still am a massive avid fan of the world's strongest man. So I used to lift a lot of heavy weights and put on a lot of weight as well doing that. So my belief system, first of all, was about running. So that was, it's impossible for me to run over 5 miles. If I ran more than 5 miles, I'd get pins and needles, I'd cramp up, and guess what? I got pins and needles and I would cramp up. So I literally had that belief system for absolute years and years and years that it's impossible for me to run 5 miles. So I never ran 5 miles. So I'd always keep my running distance to between 3 to 4 miles and nothing more than that. Because in my head, my belief system was, you know what, you can't do it. So if you say to yourself you can't do something, guess what? You can't do something. So that changed a little while ago, which I'll go into another story about. I'll go into the story about that very soon. Another belief system I had as well was it's impossible for me to cycle over 20 miles. I've got I've had a road bike, but now I've got a hybrid bike. So I do like to cycle now and again on medium terrain, but mainly on the road, which is the reason why I've got a hybrid bike, not a mountain bike or a road bike. Another belief system I had was it's pretty much impossible or challenging for me to get under 15 stone and 100% impossible or 100% impossible for me to get under 14 stone. So that was another BS I had on the weight side. Another belief system I had as well is that it's impossible for me to make money from social media. It's too hard, it's too difficult, it's impossible, it'll never work. So I was going to go through how I overcame those belief systems and why I'm in obviously the best shape I've been in a long time. I'm more positive and more focused, and hopefully, one of these points may help you. So going back to my first BS system, let me just quickly check on my notes, which obviously was a run for I can't run more than 5 miles, 6 miles, whatever it was. But I just didn't do it. I wouldn't do it, and I couldn't do it, and I thought in my head I shouldn't do it. So all that I did was just track my distance when I was doing 3 miles, and I moved up to 4 miles, and for 4 miles I moved up to 5 miles. For 5 miles, it's literally that simple. And if I couldn't do it, do that distance, I would always tell myself never walk. What I would do is do a very, very slow jog, which was basically walking. But I tricked my own self into thinking I was jogging, but in fact, in reality, it was just a fast walk until I built myself up to running 6 miles. And now with ease, I can run 10 miles with ease. Well, when I say with ease, I can run the 10 miles, but it's still a bit painful. And then now I'm taking myself up to doing 12-mile runs as well. So if they're not massive distances, if you are a major long distance run athlete, but someone from my background where in terms of exercise is more on the weights, lifting heavy weights, and doing less cardio into running. It was a massive, massive step for me, and I've overcome that belief system now. So in my head is I can run a marathon, I can run however distance I want to run, but it's just down to your mindset. So that's how I overcame my running BS. My second belief system was cycling. Hello, whoever's just joined. Please do comment as well. I am live, as you can probably see, so feel free to comment, and I will do my best to try and interact when possible. So my second belief system was cycling. I would cycle maybe 5 miles here, 10 miles there, and then it got to to 50 miles, 20 miles. But during this lockdown, and because the roads were so quiet, I thought to myself, okay, push yourself. How far can you actually cycle? So I jumped on my bike, set a destination, hit that destination, and then came back. And then I checked my route on my bike, on my whatever they call it, on my sat nav from a bike, and then I hit 34 miles by cycling. So from me thinking that it was impossible for myself to cycle that distance, I literally hit 34 miles in cycling. And to be honest with you, it wasn't difficult. Yes, it was tough. The uphill cycling absolutely killed me. But it wasn't tough in terms of I can't do this, I'm going to give up. It was just a challenge which I knew I had that desire to overcome. So basically, 34 miles cycling. Next step is infinite. Depending on how long the wife will let me out for, because that did take some time to do 34 miles on the bike. But I'm hopefully when all this stuff sorts itself out, we'll track a longer distance and then maybe stay off somewhere at B&B and then cycle back because the distance that I'm thinking about is quite a hefty distance. So that's my next plan. What I'm looking to do. Another BS that I did have was the weight side. As mentioned, I would do a lot of heavy lifting, as I would call it, excuse me, hard and heavies. So my BS was I need to be at a certain weight, lift a certain weight. So at this point, I think I was close to maybe 15 and a half stone, maybe 16 stone. I'm at absolute heaviest. I was just over 16 stone. And my belief system was, I need to, excuse me, put on more mass, get heavier, so I can do my deadlifts, I can do my proper weighted squats, I can do my dumbbell press, blah 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 blah. And then it got to the point where I thought to myself, well, let's see if I can lose some weight. So that's when it came to the running side of it as well, which was extremely difficult to run. And losing the weight for myself, it was impossible. And that's what I taught myself, that it's impossible for me to get under 15 stone. And how the hell can I do that? I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not young anymore. It was so easy when I was so young. All I had to do was run up the stairs, run down the stairs, and I lost 6 pounds. That was kind of my joke because I was quite very slim in my 20s. But then I just started to look into different ways of not just the exercise but diet as well. So I'm not here to sell any diets or anything like that. I'll talk about that in great detail. It's just more my belief system, just to let you guys know. So I did a couple of different methods which agreed with my body. I'll say just one thing, but I'm not recommending this or anything, which was give up milk. So that really helped for me. And then other parts of my diet as well. So I literally went from like 15 and a half stone, maybe probably being kind to myself, I think it was heavier than that. But let's say 15 and a half stone, and then went down to hovering over 15 stone. And then it was kind of the scales were like 14 stone, 13 pounds, and 14 stone 10. And then the weight slightly then started to come down and down and down until I literally got to like 14 and a half stone. And I was like, what? To me, that was very light for me. Obviously being just over 6.5 stone, I'm the heaviest. And then the next belief system I had, or BS as I like to call it, was it's impossible for me to see 13 stone X on the scale. That's impossible. That was me at my fighting weight. That was me before as I was getting married. So there's no way I'll get down to that weight. I've tweaked a few different things in my diet. and then basically didn't even exercise as much as what I was doing. And then literally within no time, the weight started, coming off, coming down, coming down. And then I literally weighed myself like, sorry if we're doing it in kilos or pounds, whatever, but I'm talking in stones here. So then I got down to like 13 stone and 4 pounds, which was absolutely impossible in my old BS way of thinking. So that's on the weight side. The other side was obviously social media. That's why I'm on here now, on my YouTube channel. This was one for me that I wasn't really interested in whatsoever, because you would see people pop up on social media so excited, so much energy, and just like fake, fake, fake. Is that person really that energetic? I'm not too sure. Maybe he is, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But at least it sometimes drives people's energy up. That's why I guess they talk really fast and talk with lots of passion and energy, because they love what they're doing, and probably because they're making so much goddamn money in a day. They're always that way. But getting to the point was when I saw people making money on social media, I was like, no, that's a load of rubbish. It's too difficult, too hard. You can't do this, you can't do that. Until I started investing in myself and learning and educating myself, and obviously investing time and money on how professionals do it. And then I thought, well, let's give it a try. So I gave it a try, and then my BS was literally shattered on how, I wouldn't say easy, but once you follow a set formula and rules, how basically, your eyes are open, your eyes are wide open, how it's done, and why you can earn money from social media, online marketing, affiliate marketing, digital products, email marketing, etc., etc., etc. And hopefully this sounds okay, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay in here, because my laptop isn't the best quality, even though I spent a fortune on it for the camcorder and the sound. But I guess that's what's not really there for. I can always get an external product to plug in. But hey, I've digressed once again. So it was the mindset about social media. Impossible to make money from that. Impossible for me to start speaking to it. Impossible for me to to have people subscribe or connect with me or talk with me or engage with me. So that was another BS I had. But the rule, when I've gone back and looked at all this information of how I've overcome my belief system, some of it is down to sheer stubbornness of myself, because I am quite stubborn when I set my mind to something. I know I'll keep doing it until it's done. But another point with it as well is follow a routine and learn from others. So in terms of the weight management side, if I'd just gone and done what I thought was best, I still would have been struggling. But I went down certain rules. I didn't pay for this, by the way. I didn't pay for the weight stuff. Didn't take any supplements in terms of tablets or pills or anything like that. It's all natural before anyone starts saying, "Oh, you've taken this, taken that." But yeah, I was basically just guided information, just following set rules on diet plan, eating times a day for your type of body, and that's why I'm not giving any information out about that, because everyone's body is different. In fact, at one point is look up 3 different things for body type, which is ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. So that's ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. You'll come into those 3 different types of categories, and you can actually be a blend. So if you are interested in that, you can do your own research on that. I'm not here to give that information. But yeah, so just following 6 simple rules to basically make sure I did that. With the running, that was just sheer damn determination. With the cycling as well, again, that was just sheer damn determination to just reset my mindset and focus on the positive rather than the negatives. And the positive was, well, if he can do it or she can do it, then I can do it. In fact, on the bicycle thing, I'll tell you a funny story actually. When I was cycling on my hybrid bike, cycling away like that. Hybrid, by the way, just means it's a blend between mountain bike and road bike. It doesn't mean it's electrified. So going onto that area, I'm cycling away really hard, and then this old deer just cycles past me, just and I'm like, try to cycle catch her up, and then the husband just glides past me. And I'm like, whoa, these guys must be super, super fit. But as I looked at the frame of the bike, I saw a massive battery pack on the bike. And I was like, that's how they do it. It's an e-bike, electrified bike, whatever you want to call it. So they just literally glided past me. But even though, and this is how bloody stubborn I am, even though I knew there was an electric bike and literally didn't really have to pedal, I was still keeping up with him and trying to keep up with him. Because that's just where I train my brain. You know, I don't care that they've got e-power. I'm still going to keep up with them. So that literally got me to my destination slightly quicker than I would have done so. So that brings me on to another story. Is when you're looking for inspiration, never. This is just my opinion. Don't look for people that's on the same level of you, because you'll just stay at that level. Always look for someone up there that's your, even though we're all individual, unique, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, but that's your competition. So never, you know, whether that's the business, whether that's business, personal, whether that's your blog, your social media, never put yourself on the same level as someone else if you're aspiring to be greater. So if you've got, you know, 10,000 subscribers, you know, look at what the person's doing with 100,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers. That's where you want to be. So that's your competition. That's, you know, how you need to aspire yourself. And I think that will give you a great kick up the bum to get where you need to be. And that goes with anything in life and business. But that's just my personal opinion. So that's where I thought about the running. Well, these people can achieve these distances, so why can't I? Rather than focusing on, you know, well, you know, him down the road, he can only do 2 miles, and I can do 3 miles, so I should be happy. Yes, it's a good way of thinking, but if you do want to get to the next level, it's not going to get you to where you need to be. So please, if you do want to reset your BS, make sure you're just following the simple rules of knowing that if someone else has done it and can do it, you can do it. Follow someone who has done it, and then basically just use them to motivate you. So again, just going back to the social media side of it, of this conversation, all I did was I looked at people doing well in social media. I invested my time and money into their classes, and then I was like, right, okay, well, these people are doing this, they're doing X, and they're doing Y. That's my competition. That is where I'm going to be. So that's why I've gone into the journey into making money from social media. And basically just being more confident in what I do, and the information that I put out there as well. So yeah, what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to don't hold me to this, but every Sunday I will be going live. I can't commit to a time, unfortunately, because I've got 3 children just back through that way that I need to spend some time with, because I've been doing quite a bit of content recently. So I'm gonna focus on putting some content out every Sunday on live. Just, you know, if anyone wants to jump in and chat, vent, whatever, then I'm happy to do that, as long as it's as long as the content in terms of the commentary is clean. Then I'm happy to converse with you. But yeah, it'd be nice to see what your thoughts, your comments are. I was going to say something else, but I've actually forgotten. But yeah, in terms of if you're new to coming onto my channel, please do hit the subscribe button. to follow any of my posts, do hit the thumbs up. And honestly speaking, I'm not too sure if people mention this to you or not. If you go to other people's YouTube channels, is it really does help us in terms of getting our message out there. Because if you could be watching it and you could think the content is fantastic, it's great, but if you don't give it a thumbs up or you don't put a comment to see why it's good, and you don't subscribe, then unfortunately the powers that be behind the scenes just think it's not a good video, or the content isn't good. So one way or the other, it doesn't get pushed out to the many. So I am asking for your support. I'm asking for your help. I'm not asking for any money. All I'm asking for you to do is hit the thumbs up and just subscribe to my channel and put a comment in there for whether that's, as I keep saying, whether that's constructive feedback or positive feedback. Either way, it does help. So if it's constructive, what you think or what you didn't like about it, or what I should have added in there, and it helps me get better content. Believe it or not, it does help me get better content out there to the audience. And if you do like it, let me know what you liked about it as well. I think time is getting on at the moment, because I think like 20 minutes in, and it's what's the time? 10:35 on this lovely Sunday morning, the 17th of May. So I'm going to spend the rest of my time now with my family. In fact, my kids are doing some research on making money online as well. In fact, they're doing it themselves. I've taught them some hints and tricks, so they're doing it as well. So they've monetized their blogs, which is funny for a 9-year-old and 11-year-old to be creating money. So my focus for my kids as well is, which I'm getting very close to, is never having to give them pocket money, because they've created their own stream of income coming through. So getting 5, 10, 50, whatever, 20 quid a week through their own way of creating wealth is really, really good. And in fact, my next post on Sunday, I will go live and talk about how to get your children to sell sandwiches. And there's a big interesting backstory about that. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Sell sandwiches. So it kind of is and isn't what you think. So if you are anyone with children and you want them to obviously get their own pocket money without paying them, definitely tune in next week as well. Or if you're just maybe interested in that topic, do tune in. And in fact, it does work for anyone actually as well, because obviously it can show you how to monetize something very, very quickly, and how to create a stream of income coming through every single day, 24/7, literally 24/7. I guess that's why all the guys smile, because I'm starting to smile now when I'm thinking when I'm thinking about it. But I'll just remain as humble as I can. So I have put a link in this message as well. The link in the message is basically to get onto my subscription list. On that subscription list, you will get a free gift. So please do click it, and please do put your information in there, and please do hit the send. And then what will happen is you'll get an automated response just asking you to sign up. Once you do sign up, you do get your free gift. And then what you will get is information about taking you on your online journey. And then once my content webinar has been finished, you'll be the first to be notified on how to get on that webinar. As I have been saying and shouting out around different platforms, it is life-changing. It's something that you do 100% need to get on, because it will show you how to dominate social media, how to decode the secrets, and how to create wealth for yourself and your family. So on that note, I am going. Have a great day. Peace be with you. See you later.